The problem says, in planning her retirement, Liza deposited some money at 2.5% interest, with twice as much deposited at 4%. Find the amount deposited at each rate if the total annual interest income is $2,100. So the problem tells us that Liza deposited some money. Doesn't tell us how much, it just says some money. And then twice as much at 4%. So we're going to take the fact that she deposited some money. We don't know how much, so we'll call it X. X will be the amount deposited at 2.5% interest. So we know that she deposited an X amount of dollars at 2.5% interest with twice as much at 4%. So twice as much would be 2X. And this is the amount deposited at 4% interest. Now the problem wanted us to find the amount deposited at each rate if the total, which means we're going to add annual interest, which means our time is 1 year, is $2,100. So we're going to take the interest from each of these accounts and we're going to total it up, so add it up to get $2,100. Interest is equal to principal times rate times time, and time is in years. So we're going to take the interest from each account that she deposits the money into. We're going to add those values up, and then we'll set it equal to 2,100. So to set up our equation, we'll take the interest from the 4%, or we'll start with the 2.5% account, plus the interest from the 4% and set it equal to the total interest, which they told us was $2,100. So now if we go back and plug in what we know, remembering that interest equals principal times rate times time, so we're going to look at the 2.5% account. We'll have principal is X dollars times the rate is 2.5%, which we must write as a decimal, so 0.025. We get that from saying 2.5 divided by 100, and then the time is 1 year. It said to total it, so we're adding that to the interest from the 4% account that we deposited in, so that's going to be our principal, which is 2X, times our rate, written as a decimal, is 0.04, times 1 year. And we'll solve this equation. So we end up with 0.025X plus 0.08X equals 2,100. So we want to add these two X values together. We add those two X values together on the left-hand side. We're going to get 0.105 X equals 2,100. Now we divide both sides by 0.105. So we do 2,100 divided by 0.105. This gives us X equals 20,000. Now remember, X is representing the the amount deposited at 2.5%. So we can say that $20,000 was deposited at 2.5% interest. Twice as much was deposited at 4%. So the amount deposited at 2.5% interest was $20,000. and the amount deposited at 4% interest was $40,000. And again, we get the $40,000 from the fact that on our key up here, 2x is the amount deposited at 4% right here. So if we know what x is, then we would say 2 times that value, $20,000, equals $40,000. And that's where we're getting that value from.